My name is Mara, it's M-A-R-A, and I'm a special agent with the FBI. Pretty much everybody you've ever known in your life gets interviewed, is how that works out. It is a really long process, and part of that is it's a very sensitive job, and so you get access to information that the general population doesn't have. So it's important that they find out that you're a trustworthy person. And I was a military kid, so I moved around a lot. So it was a lot of people who got interviewed for me. And the process is not only just that part of the background investigation. You get interviewed by a panel to make sure that you're the kind of person they want to work there. You have to do a physical fitness test. There's all kinds of things that go into it. So for me, it took almost 18 months. So our job is to help enforce the laws that Congress passes. So we are tasked with doing a number of things. We have duties in counterterrorism, we have duties in the criminal arena, and some other things. We do cyber, we do some intelligence, we're part of the intelligence community. So we have quite a broad mission. I work on a squad that does crimes against children. So we do any investigation of a crime that impacts a child. And so that's my primary function, is sort of the criminal arena. And I think it's all just basically in service to the country, and so we have a small portion of that involves children. There's no real typical day for us. It could be one day is entirely paperwork, so you're in the office all day. One day might be an arrest or a search warrant early in the morning, and then you've got the sort of administrative things that go along with that. There's no real typical day, and some of that. We're a lot less glamorous. So I know some of my friends always joke about the private jet that takes us everywhere, and we don't really have one of those. So, it's a lot of driving in your own car kind of thing. Some of it's not as quick a process. So you're used to Law and Order where, at the beginning of the hour you see something happen and then 60 minutes later it's all resolved. That's not how it works, and so everything is much more time-consuming, and it takes just a lot longer.
They portray the CIA and the FBI as very similar organizations. How are they similar and how are they different?
So entirely different. Well, they're both part of what we would call the intelligence community, and so some of the things that involve national security, we might sort of share information, but they have a very different mission than we do, where our job is sort of investigate crimes, be they criminal or terrorism related. That's not really their job. Their job is intelligence. So we don't really do the same things. They don't carry firearms, and we are armed officers. So there's a lot of differences. The overlap might be in things like national security, where we would share information.
I know you said you're involved in human trafficking, but in national crises such as 9/11 and the Boston bombing, are you involved in that in any way?
When anything like that happens, if it's a big sort of terrorism-related event, everybody basically becomes a counterterrorism agent. And so when those things happen, whether they be local or in Boston, we had agents from New York that went up there to help during that investigation. And so everything sort of gets put on hold to the extent that it can be to deal with a national crisis. So you definitely have to be flexible in that regard, because your job will change overnight or in